event called the interview with the I fucking can't say it. Progenitor. So let's start it. This event contains potential spoilers for the time I got reincarnated as a slime movie. Proceed with care if you have not seen the movie yet. Huh, what are you doing here? You want to interview me? Seems like you have got a lot of spare time on your hands. Don't say your name. Yeah, that's asking a lot. Why don't you just edit it out with the article yourself? That's too tedious. Are you serious? Oh, okay, fine. I'll do your interview, but I hope you are grateful for my kindness. It goes without saying that the demon world is boring, right? No one's got anything to do except fame on themselves, and wherever you go, all you see are weaklings causing a ruckus to prove that they are better than the others. For someone like us, none of them are close to being worthy opponents. I could take on those rowdy weaklings, but it would be like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. Nothing more than a bit of pointless entertainment. Oh. I should just get incarnated quickly and aim for something higher. That doesn't sound that fun. Well, either, for starters, no one in the living world, which is basically the human world, is strong enough. That's why I'm not in any rush to be incarnated. Yeah, I guess your theory is that demons should follow the principles and be incarnated in order to evolve even further, right? That's a fair argument. I can see why you can't understand why we refuse to do so. But simply being incarnated is no fun. Like I said, the demon world is just so boring. That's why we are playing a game to see who can achieve the ideal incarnation first. That's right, the three of us, Blanc, June, and me. You already had your... Oh, wait. You didn't want me to talk about you. Alright, then let's get back to the topic. Was Diablo given the interview? So we are playing this game to see who can get incarnated first, but it's no fun just finding any old body. Our rule is that whoever obtains a perfectly matching vessel is deemed the winner. And by the way, none of us are allowed to go looking for a vessel ourselves. They have to be prepared by our subordinates, you see. So all three of us have been playing this game for thousands of years, each in our own way. Initially, it looked like Yellow was in the lead. I'm still annoyed at Blondie for having ordered her militant henchmen to go attacking my subordinates. That being said, I'm sure she thinks that I'm the mean one, since I totally got my revenge on her. Regarding that, I won't deny that both sides were at fault anyway. While we were engaging in an all-out war, that devious Wait made her move. Seriously, Wait is one cunning fox. So she's always been out like that. She was scheming behind the scenes and almost got the jump on us, but me and Blondie joined forces to prevent her from getting ahead. She almost had us that time. From that point on, our competition has contained in a three-way deadlock. What's been interesting is that all three of our personalities are reflected in our different approaches. For example, Wait always lays down the groundwork and then proceeds cautiously, so as not to get caught by us. That may seem like a smart move, but at the same time it means that she only has a single plan. That's why we can easily crush it by attacking her opponents at the very last moment. I guess that's easier said than done though. After all, she does everything she can to keep her plans a secret, so we have to constantly engage in information warfare to keep up with the latest developments. On top of that, Wait's forces are so well protected that if me or Blondie went in with just our own forces, we wouldn't be able to bring them down. That's why it's a must that we join forces when we are trying to take down Ray. But that being said, I don't think Blondie's even trying to win this game anymore. The last time she put in any effort was when she created a powerful life form in some small country in Sarion. But even that was about 100 years ago. You heard about that? Yeah, that's right. The blonde hero, otherwise known as the Demon Lord Leon, took it down. Well, I was already the one who led the hero there. You should have seen it. The frustration in Yellow's face that time. On top of that, she didn't know that it was all my doing, and she ended up getting upset at Leon. I mean, I couldn't believe that Leon would build his own nation in Yellow's domain. Of all places, I gotta say that was hilarious. You're the one who recommended that continent to him. Wow, I bet you you did that on purpose, knowing that Yellow would have a fit and take it all out on Leon. I always knew it, but you are one trusted girl, huh? Look who's talking. I'll let that slide since you let me in on the good story. Besides, Yellow's focus is on Leon now, so it's all good. I guess I ought to thank you for that. After all, she's recently taken up the hobby of developing super flashy and powerful magic, and has been relentlessly blasting it away at Leon's nation for days on end. I'd be so upset if she was directing it at me, but it's hilarious watching it happen to other people. Her opponents have always been the type that are only interested in strengthening their own forces. So her troops have always stirred up the most chaos in the demon world. I gotta thank Demon Lord Leon for attracting all her attention to him. Did I do all that in order to train Demon Lord Leon? Sure, if that's how you want to interpret it. Oops, I got sidetracked. So yeah, basically I've got several plans running simultaneously. I'm equally dedicated to all the plans, but at the same time they all act as decoys. You see, I only need one plan to succeed, so why not increase my chances by running multiple plans at once? As well as trying to actually accomplish something. It's kind of like a hobby to me. So you could say that I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone. As for the results, well, as you can see, I'm still not being reincarnated. Also, it's not like the more minions I have, the better life gets. I hate having to deal with all the idiots that end up joining my forces. Seriously, being a king ain't easy. This event contains, yep, exactly like the other day, my plane got ruined just because as I was about to succeed. That really annoyed me. I mean, the perfect vessel was just about to be born, and then poof, it was gone. Then again, the minion I put in charge of was no good to begin with. You want to hear what the plane was? Okay, I'll give you the gist of it. It took place in a small nation next to the forest of Joro, Waja, I think it was called. It used to be a nation where monsters and humans lived together. But they were weaker than the armed nation of Drogon, ruled by the Dwarf King, so it got attacked by ferocious monsters, and it was also targeted by humans as a useful source of labor. Back when the nation was first founded, there were no local specialties, and food productivity was low due to the poor soil. Goes without saying, really, that it was a nation where the press fled to, so it was only natural that it wasn't wealthy. If you ask me, the queen of the nation was too kind, but because she was so good-natured, I thought she would be perfect person to play a trick on. Back then, this queen was under a lot of pressure she desperately prayed into every day, so I thought I'd answer her prayers, you see? Yeah, so I offered to play a game with her, a game in which I'd channel my powers into a tiara and see how she would handle wearing it. The more of the tiara's power she used, the more the cursed poison cast on it would consume her body. It was my intention to pass down the curse through the generations until one day a perfect vessel would be created for me to take over. Since there was no limit to human greed, most of them relied too much on the tiara and quickly end up completely ruined. But at the time, I predicted that the queen had such a noble soul that she wouldn't rely on the tiara more than necessary. My prediction was right, and she was never consumed by her own desires. Instead, she used the power of the tiara to enrich her nation and help the most vulnerable monsters and people in the society. But as a result, eventually her soul was greatly worn out. The curse was embedded into the queen's body and passed on to the next queen. But just because the first queen had enriched her nation, that didn't make it easier for the following generations. Like I said earlier, this nation was the worst place imaginable. Not only was it constantly under attacks from the forest, but there were plenty of greedy and ambitious people too. Raja was the target of all these threats. And it was the gold mine that I found for the humans that really ignited the greedy desires. The gold from the mine provided the wealth for the nation, but it also brought out the worst in humans. My plan was to use that to cause a great disaster. I also knew that if the nation suddenly got wealthy, the surrounding nations would want a piece of it. As a result, Raja would enter an era of constant warfare. Am I okay with saving someone and then making them go through so much suffering? You're not seriously asking me that, are you? I like watching people go through pain, despair, and sorrow, but what I like even more is witnessing someone with a strong will to overcome the adversity. You're the same, right? Yeah, I thought so. The best thing about this game is watching how the generations of queens tried to fight back the face of great calamity. Back to what I was saying, you see, the more they used the tiara, the more cursed poison was embedded, and the closer I got to finding the perfect vessel, so there was no reason for me to stop to help them out. As for how the game went down, well, I got to enjoy it a lot more than I expected. The descendants of the first queen really inherited her noble soul. Normally, you would get an idiot every few generations, but still, to this day, those queens have all had integrity. That's pretty rare, so I thought there might be a chance that one of them would win the game for me. I got a lot of enjoyment out of them, so I thought I wouldn't mind if the game ended that way. Yeah, whatever the outcome of the game was going to be, it was really entertaining for me. But then one of my minions totally messed everything up. You see, I created a prototype of the magic circle with the cursed poison. I was going to use it on the demon Lord Luminous to pester her, but this minion of mine took it without my permission and went out of the way to inflict a disaster upon Raja. Even though it was only a prototype, it was still something that I made myself. It spread poison for hundreds of years, tormenting generations of queens. Not only that, but it seemed the poison spread to the surrounding nations as well. Talk about driving the queens to the limits. Yeah, that was totally against the rules. After all, there's nothing more boring than the game that you know for sure that you are going to win. So what, you killed your minion? Surely you did. Of course, I do want a vessel, but I'd rather be incarnated, fair, and square. Blah, blah, blah. And yet, one of my own minions spoiled all my fun. But it was actually ended up making me even more impressed. Like, how could they withstand such misery for hundreds of years? Honestly, I was so impressed that I even thought about rewarding them for it, regardless of the game. But what I didn't like was that the fact that that guy was the one who informed me about it. Who's that guy? Who's that guy? Who's that guy? Hey, who's that guy? Diablo, was it? Oh, it's Diablo. The best of the demons. The best of the demons. Diablo. Yeah, that guy, that pain in the neck. Yeah. Don't you think it's just awful that he butted in like that when the game had nothing to do with him? You agree? I guess he's been annoying you as well, huh? He definitely saw you, but he totally ignored you. Yeah, he's like that. I was always so selfish and egotistical. That's not all. You're upset that he disrespected you, huh? Yeah, I bet he thinks he's the strongest out of all of us. Gosh, that's so annoying. That reminds me, did you know that he totally sold out? Remember how he had no interest in evolving to become stronger? Because he always wanted to put himself in a difficult battles? Well, guess what? Not only did he get incarnated, but he even got a name. Thanks to that, he got so strong that even I can't hold him back. So, as much as I hated to do so, I had no choice but to withdraw. Although I did put up a fight, since I'm not one to go back down so easily. But he defeated me just like that. Even Nihilistic Vanish, which was supposed to be my trump card, barely worked on him. I thought I would at least leave a scratch on him. I hate having to repeat myself, but he's so annoying. What, you'll get revenge on him for me? I don't think you would stand a chance. Sure, you have been incarnated and got yourself a name, so you're on equal terms with him, but no. Is she talking to Guy, or is she talking to Misery Elaine? I don't know. You're probably stronger than me now, but he's just fundamentally different. I guess Guy's the only one who can defeat him. Oh, she must be talking to Misery Elaine. You're still going to fight him? Okay, I won't stop you, and I wish you the best of luck, but I think you're cruising for boozing. Besides, he did at least accept your interview, right? I see, so halfway through it stopped being an interview and just turned into him boasting, huh? So now you're annoyed at him for that? Was he boasting about the slime called Rimu, who recently turned into a demon lord? I knew it, huh? Why do I know about it? Well, I had to suffer loads of endless boasting about him, too. I mean, the reason he came all the way to see me was basically that he wanted to boast about the incarnation and how he got a name. I bet he only told me about my minion messing things up just so he could talk about himself. Seriously, he just wouldn't shut up about that great Rimu guy. Yeah, didn't you meet him at Walpurgis too? What was he like? Wait, don't tell me you're interested in Demon Lord Rimu as well. So you want to talk about him too? I can tell you're ready to start going on and on about him. How could I tell? It's easy. Just for a split second, you had the same eyes that Noir did. You don't want to be compared to Noir? Well, I can't help it. It's the truth. I see to have even made you interested in him. Demon Lord Rimu must be pretty unique. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have withdrawn halfway. What am I talking about? Don't worry, it doesn't concern you. Oh yeah, actually, it's still not too late. I'm gonna head back to the human world one more time to try and accomplish what I originally set out to do. Alright, that's all for the interview. There's still time, as if I care. I'll be off now. Bye.